Hello students, I am Ishan Trivedi. Welcome you in this video lecture series. Today we are going to discuss about comprehensive plan and transportation system management planning. In this session, I am going to cover two different elements in the preparation of comprehensive transportation plan to guide the improvements to the transportation system. These are the transportation system management element, or you can say TSM, and the second is long range element. Let us start with the transportation system management, or you can say TSM. The transportation system management is a package of short-term measures to make the most productive and cost-effective use of existing transportation facilities, services, and modes. For example, automobile, taxis, trucks, terminal, public transit, pedestrian, and bicycles are the parts of urban transportation system. There are four basic strategies which are applied to increase the efficiency of the system. These are the actions to ensure the efficient use of existing road space, then actions to reduce the vehicle use in the congested areas, then actions to improve the transit services, and at last actions to improve internal management efficiency. The main objective of this TSM is to maximize the urban mobility within a given existing system through the development of these four specifications. The TSM process outline includes the applicability to metropolitan area, which serves as a guide, and examples given under each major item are those suggestions. Now understand this outline. First is organization. The Metropolitan Planning Organization assumes the coordination responsibility in the cooperation with the state and the public-owned transit operators. Here, the input and the participation is solicited from the relevant agencies. For example, planning organization, highway departments, traffic operators, city and traffic engineers. Then formulation of overall policies and strategy and the development of short-range objectives. For example, efficient use of existing facilities, then increase in the urban mobility, social, economic and environment consideration, then energy conservation, mobility and accessibility for the elderly and handicapped people, then improvement in the air quality, land use impacts, accessibility, cost and safety. So these are those short range objectives that we have to frame in a such a way that the formulation includes overall policy, strategy and the development of the area. Then third is data collection to identify the existing system characteristics. Here, the examples are of physical characteristics, operational characteristics, management characteristics, then surveillance data from long range planning element. Then identification of problems and deficiencies. We have to identify the problems that the city people are facing. For example, congestion and the transit services. Then the development of possible solution for each problem. Here, we have to ensure the efficient use of existing road space. Then reduce the vehicle use in the congested area. And the development has to be done in a such a way that we can restrict the entry of people in these congested areas. Then improve transit services, then increase in the internal transit management efficiency. Next is the development of evaluation criteria consisting with short range objectives. The examples are accidents, travel time and the level of service of public transportation. Then evaluation of possible solution relation to the foregoing criteria. Then the selection of specific solution for each problem that we have identified. then the listing of selected solution for each problem, and at last project initiation under the Transportation Improvement Program, or you can say TIP. Next is traffic management. Traffic management is the application of sound management principles and practices to optimize the use of existing road network with a view to improving traffic flow and road safety without disturbing the environment quality. Many of the urban streets which carries heavy traffic volume for which they were not designed, and due to this heavy traffic, there are unavoidable delays, congestion, and accidents. This can be reduced by the controlling of traffic, then imposing regulatory measures, and enforcing management techniques so as to make the most economic use of the streets. Here, what we have to understand, various traffic management techniques. First technique is regulatory techniques. Here, what we have to do, we have to provide regulatory signs. For example, one-way street, or there is a restrictions on turning movement. Then there is a exclusive bus lanes only. For example, BRTS lane. Then closing side streets and tidal flow operation. Next is traffic control devices. For example, traffic signs, traffic signals, road marking, speed breaker, channelized intersection, and central refuges. Next is traffic segregation techniques. Here, the traffic has been segregated by various modes. For example, those who are willing to walk, they have pedestrian facilities. Those who are riding their vehicle or two-wheeler or the four-wheeler, they have a separate track, and there is a separate track for rapid transit as well. So pedestrian grade separation is there. We have sidewalk provision, then central divider, or you can say mid block, then footpath, central railing is there, bus bays are there, cycle tracks has to be provided. So there is a separation of various elements based on their requirement or based on their users. Next is demand management techniques. Here, this has been done by providing the entry fees, road and bridge tolls, then preferential parking for high occupancy vehicle, then priority for bus in the traffic, then internal shuttle services provided for the CBD areas, and the restrictions on entry of trucks during the daytime. Then self-enforcing techniques. Here, self-enforcement has been done by the sharing of taxis, or you can say carpooling, then careful driving, and obey the traffic rules. Next is police public interaction techniques. Here, all the people or those who are residing in the city, they have basic traffic awareness. If they don't pursue, then there is certain education services to bring out this traffic awareness, then traffic booths, system condition broadcast, and the area location and route signboards. So these are the techniques that we have to follow. Now another part is long range element. It is to make the provision for the long range transportation needs of the urban area. The long range elements identify the facilities to be constructed, major changes to be made to existing facilities, and long range policy actions. These elements of the transportation planning might consider the future land development policies by adding a highway link or by installing a busway system. These policies are similar as the TSM element, and many long range alternatives must be evaluated before the decision can be made. Thus, the planning tools for the analysis of long range alternative must be developed. These tools also provide the information to help decision makers to select the most promising alternatives. Once again, the travel demand forecasting plays an important role as a major contributor to planning these tools which are used in evaluation alternatives. I'm ending this session here. I hope you have learned this comprehensive plan and the development procedure. Thanks for watching this video.